video and immediately get hiccups. Oh. Hello and welcome back to another No Poo video. It feels like a really long time since I made one of these. I think it's at least a month or two, but lots of other things have been going on. It was Christmas and then it was the new year, and I've been making minimalism videos and also working on my ebook, which if you didn't already know about, the link's in the description. And yeah, I've just been doing a lot of other things, but it's about time I did a No Poo update. A lot of you have been asking for it. So yeah, let's get started. So if you're totally new to my channel and this is the first video you're clicking on and you're kind of curious about what No Poo is and why I've chosen to do it, then I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. So around 4.5 months ago, I decided to go No Poo. It's something that I'd seen on the internet and kind of done a bit of research before I actually did it myself. And it's basically quitting the use of conventional shampoo to better the health of your hair. So I used to have to wash my hair every other day, and my hair would get very frizzy. It would be so different every single time I washed it. Some days it would be poofy and frizzy and some days it would look good. I would have to use a lot of product on it to sort of tame my curls and make my hair look nice. And I was kind of just fed up of using conventional shampoos. Before I went No Poo officially, I was using a shampoo bar from Lush, but it did include SLS, and I had also dropped the use of conditioner. So it was kind of an ongoing process. So maybe like, I don't know, 5 to 6 months before then I had stopped using conditioner and I'd stopped using the kind of, you know, Pantene, L'Oreal style, Herbal Essences style shampoos. So I'd kind of moved over to the natural hair care anyway, but I hadn't really done any research or looked into it. I just sort of thought, oh yeah, Lush products, they'll be nice and natural. And conditioner, it just makes my hair frizzy and kind of over greasy. So it was kind of an ongoing process with that. And I started off just switching to No Poo, where I would use things like Castile soap, rye flour, apple cider vinegar. I experimented basically with all the different methods, and I kind of realised I was doing a little bit too many different things, and I stuck to one. I stuck to Castile soap for a while, and then more recently I decided to go water only, where you basically ditch all products from your hair and you just use water. I did that, I don't know how long I did that for, maybe a few weeks to a month. It didn't work for me just because I have sensitive skin and I just got an excessive amount of dandruff, and that's something I'm going to be talking about in this video. So I was getting a lot of dandruff. It just wasn't a nice process because I was having to scritch and preen so much, and it wasn't feeling its best, and instinctually I thought, this is obviously going to be great for some people who have maybe drier hair or lighter hair, but for me, because I do have sensitive skin and I do have normal to oily skin, it wasn't working for me. So I went from water only to apple cider vinegar, and that kind of brings us up to today. So let's get straight into exactly what I'm doing now. So for the past month, I would say month or two, I think it was around mid-December I stopped doing water only. And I think the last update was when I said I was doing water only, my announcement for doing it. And water only was an amazing experience. I think it really helped bring my hair to the stage it is now. It helped me get over the phase when my hair was oily and greasy and had a lot of stuff in it. So for a very long time during No Poo, every time I showered, I felt like there was a huge chunk of oil in the middle of my hair just sitting there, and every time I showered it would feel heavy. Every time I got out the shower, when I touched my hair, it was like tacky, like it had product in it. And as I did water only, that feeling started to go away, and I think that not using any products really benefited me for that short period of time, just to get that oiliness and that tackiness out. And I started to use apple cider vinegar again, as I mentioned, because I started to get a lot of dandruff, and dandruff on a hair colour like mine just doesn't look very good. I was getting oily dandruff, so I think there are two types of dandruff. One is dry dandruff, one is oily dandruff. So dry dandruff is the dandruff that sort of sits on your clothes and falls out of your hair from a dry scalp. And oily dandruff is when you have an oily scalp and it sits in your hair. And I think that obviously from doing No Poo and not washing my hair and just having an oily head and not getting rid of those oils was making me have a lot of dandruff. And some people might experience this, some people might not. Again, everyone has such different hair types that you just don't know with this whole No Poo thing how it's going to work for you. That's just why it's important to experiment. So yeah, I just got a bit fed up of the dandruff, so I started using apple cider vinegar, where I would wash my hair once a week with apple cider vinegar. And that just means that you get in the shower, you wet your hair, and then you fill up a jar. I get a jar like a big mason jar, and then fill it maybe like 10% of the way, about this far, like a couple inches or so with apple cider vinegar, and then you fill the rest of it up with the water from the shower. Dunk it all over your head. Be careful not to get it in your eyes because I do that a lot and it hurts like hell. And then you scrub away, scrub, and then you rinse it out. And yeah, you kind of use it like you would shampoo. Some people use apple cider vinegar as like a rinse after they've shampooed, but that's kind of a different method. I haven't come across a lot of stuff online about just using apple cider vinegar alone, but that's what I did, and it really helped. It got rid of the dandruff pretty much immediately. It made my hair feel a lot silkier, and I think I had one of the best hair days that I'd had in like the whole No Poo experience just before Christmas, which was so fantastic because I was thinking that I would go and use some Castile soap or some a natural shampoo or something before Christmas, just so my hair felt washed and fresh. But I didn't actually need to because I used apple cider vinegar after doing water only for so long. And I think because I'd done water only for a few weeks, my hair was kind of, I don't know, it just made my hair, it felt, I guess it's the first cleaning I'd done of my hair for a while. So it made my hair super soft and silky and amazing for Christmas, and I was so happy. And it had that kind of feeling that you get like, if you've done No Poo, you'll know what I mean, that it feels like you can't flip your hair around. Like right now my hair feels very soft, silky, and like I can flip it all around. And when I was doing water only, I hadn't got that feeling at all, which I really missed because it just felt like my hair was heavy and just sitting there, and if I flicked my hair it would get stuck. And I also had a really greasy patch at the back of my head, and that was really bothering me. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in January. So I've been using apple cider vinegar once a week, and I haven't been doing anything else. I've honestly become really lazy with it, which is leading me to what I did last night. So I kind of gave up scritching and preening. I basically haven't scritched and preened for like a month because I don't know, I've just been busy and I just didn't want to do it because my hair wasn't getting greasy like it was before. My hair would stay clean for at least 3 or 4 days without me having to scritch and preen. So I would just kind of whack my hair up in a bun for the last few days and then wash it when it needed it to. I'm not like counting how many days and making sure I wash it once a week on a Friday or something. I just wash it when it needs to be washed with the apple cider vinegar method I told you about. This week my hair, I just noticed I was just getting dandruff again, partly probably due to stress because I was working really hard on my ebook and having very late nights, and also probably because I wasn't washing it as often, so I was kind of being a bit lazy and I wasn't scritching and preening. So I always think that whenever things happen to your hair, you should really be as intuitive and critical of what you've been doing, because there's normally a reason why it's not working. So with No Poo, if you're getting dandruff, if your hair's super greasy, if there's something going on, if you really analyse the way you're doing things, you'll probably be able to find an answer and fix it. So last night I googled up ways to get rid of dandruff, and a lot of oil hair mask treatments came up, and at first I was like, whoa, that's not where I want to go with this, because putting oil on my hair during No Poo seems a really scary thing to do. Because you think, well, this is going to make my hair even more greasy, what am I going to do? But I think that the mistake that I've made in the past when I've used oil hair masks is I've just used far too much oil. I've kind of just dunked it on my head. I remember using argan oil, and I talked about this in a previous No Poo video. I just got the argan oil and sort of dripped it all over my head and slept on it, and the next day when I washed it out, it just made my hair super greasy, and it took like 3 or 4 washes for it to come out. So instead I googled an actual recipe and I found one online. I'll link it below. It has a few different recipes for different types of problems like dandruff or dry skin or whatever it is you're having a problem with. And it was basically 1 teaspoon of coconut oil and then 10 drops of varying essential oils. I'm remembering this off the top of my head, but the link is below. But I'm pretty sure I had lemon oil, I put some frankincense in there because I didn't have rosemary oil. It had peppermint oil, maybe it had some tea tree, I don't know. It had different essential oils and I put a few drops of each. And it was a really small amount in a little, I put it in a little dish. And then I sort of just rubbed it in my hands and just massaged my scalp and slept on it. And then today I used Castile soap for the first time in months, literally, I think in maybe 2 months probably. And washed the oil out because I think that's the only way you're going to get the oil out. I haven't experimented with other things. I just instinctually thought that apple cider vinegar wouldn't cut it. So I used some Castile soap. I washed my hair twice. So I washed it once with the Castile soap and I could definitely feel that there was still some oil in there. And sorry, I've got my camera battery, I just switched them out. and then I washed it again, and the second time it lathered up like crazy and my hair felt really, really soft, and I knew that it had been cleaned and washed out. And then I used apple cider vinegar and lemon. When I was Googling, a lot of people were saying that apple cider vinegar as well as lemon would really, or lime, really helps with dandruff, and it's a rinse that a lot of people use. People also use it to lighten their hair, so if you have blonde hair, if you put lemon rinses in your hair and go out in the sun, it will help to lighten your hair. So all I did was do the same thing that I did normally with apple cider vinegar. I filled the bottle up with about sort of an inch or so in there, and then I squeezed 1 lemon in there, and I dunked it over my head after I'd washed my hair and let it sit as I washed and stuff, and then rinsed it out, kind of like a conditioner, just a hair rinse. I don't know if you're supposed to rinse it out, but I did. I don't know, that's kind of instinct for me, just to wash it out. And also I'm going to mention that I learned recently as well that using hot water on your hair is really not a good idea during no poo. It can irritate the scalp, make you get oilier hair more, and I think that this really, really improved the condition of my hair when I was doing water only. I stopped using hot water on my hair, like I was just having a normal hot shower and washing my hair as usual, and I started to only use lukewarm to cold water. So what I'll do is when I put my head under the shower, I'll turn the shower down to cold as I can bear, where it's not like painful, and rinse my hair that way. And then at the end of the shower, I will turn it on really, really super cold and then rinse my hair with that, and that really helps my hair to be shiny. I don't know if you can tell because the lighting isn't the best, but my hair is super, super shiny right now. It's so, so shiny, and I love that, especially if you have dark hair. It really looks lovely when your hair is super shiny. So yeah, that's what I did last night, and my hair is much more like how it used to be when I would shampoo it. It feels super soft, like almost too soft. It's a bit like scary how soft it feels. It's kind of sitting really flat on my head because it does feel like I've washed the oil out of it. So moving forward, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try out this method once a month where I do a oil hair mask and wash it out. And any of you guys, if you have any advice on washing it out, or what treatments to use for dandruff, let me know, because I'm really, really interested in trying other things out. I want to buy some aloe vera. But another thing I've been finding when I was looking for aloe vera is that there's so many different types, and also I want to get the purest aloe vera. So if any of you have any recommendations, because when I was looking online there were lots of reviews saying, oh, this is mostly water, and yeah, I want to find the purest way to have aloe vera. And I know some of you might suggest to get an aloe vera plant, but then I've also heard that that's toxic to cats, and I have cats, so all these problems. But yeah, from now on what I plan on doing is once a month doing some kind of rinse in my hair, some kind of mask, like an oil mask with some essential oils, and then rinsing it out with something different. Like I want to try oat flour, I want to try just lime rinses on its own, and just try out different methods to sort of nourish my hair, because I think because I have a sensitive scalp and because I have been getting dandruff pretty badly, I even tried to sort of push it out, where I just dealt with the dandruff and thought, well, it will probably go away. And you might have noticed in a lot of my videos over the last month or two, I often have dandruff in them, and it's kind of hard for me to have uploaded those videos where you can just blatantly see a huge chunk of dandruff in my hair. But I just thought, well, if I push it out and see how it goes, maybe the dandruff will stop eventually. And it kind of didn't, so I just thought, well, let me try this out, and it has worked really, really well. And I don't mind that it's kind of washed the oil out, because I think that my hair will probably just go back to how it was before, and I'll continue using apple cider vinegar for the rest of the time, and just doing this like once a month to help with the dandruff, or however often I need to. That I'm still experimenting. I'm not I'm not this guru who knows everything about no poo. I'm just experimenting with my own hair. It's only been 4 months, and I suppose probably after a year I'll have found my routine that is working for me and that is perfect and that fits exactly what I want from my hair. But when you're doing no poo, don't be scared to try things out. Don't be scared to listen to different people and take what you think works for you, and find people with similar hair types. There's no point of watching someone who has straight blonde hair if you've got, like me, if you've got wavy, curly, dark hair, or someone with dry hair if you've got oily hair. You need to sort of try and take information from different places and figure it out for yourself, because that's what I've tried to do. Persevere, like you've really got to persevere with it, because you just don't know what's going to work until you've tried it. And I really recommend, when you're going through the hard times of having the oiliness in your hair, it just feels like it's not going away, stick at it, because if you stick at it, it will go away. I really had that moment where my hair was just so thick with oil for so many weeks, and I stuck at it and it finally went away. So yeah, that's all of my advice. I've talked for so long already, and the dandruff has totally gone since doing that mask. Like, I literally can't see a piece of dandruff. Also, my hair looks so clean and lovely. Like, it hasn't been this clean in so long. Like, normally when I lift my hair up like that, there's still a little bit of grease, so it's really nice to have really soft, clean hair and not a single piece of dandruff on my scalp. That is huge for me, to not see a piece of dandruff. The one thing I think that is great is that if you have curly or wavy hair and you're used to using things like sea salt and waxes and products to make your hair kind of defined after you shower, so what I used to have the problem with, because I don't have like coarse hair, it's kind of frizzy and soft. When I would wash it and come out of the shower, it'd be really poofy, and I'd have to put a lot of product to make it coarse and kind of tacky. And like this, this looks like I've got product in it. I have no product in my hair, so it looks like, so all the curls are defined and like piecey, and that's kind of the look I would always want to have, like I've been to the beach or something. And it does that alone. So it's obviously the natural oil in your hair just sitting on your hair to keep it strong, keep it healthy, and it's just chilling, and it makes your hair defined and lovely. So that's an amazing bonus. Bonus.